At the 2026 Met Gala, the media went into an absolute frenzy over Beyoncé's jewelry. The brand, Chopard, let everyone believe she was wearing a $50 million necklace. It was the biggest PR stunt of the night. But I build complex jewelry for a living. I know exactly how these stones are sourced. I know how the settings are engineered under a microscope. And I know the exact math behind the wholesale diamond markets. Today, we are going to strip away the glamour of the red carpet. I'm going to show you the terrifying risk of cutting these historic stones, the insane physical engineering required to build this collar, and the brutal math that proves Chopard inflated this price tag by over $38 million. Welcome to the heritage tax. Before we do the final math, you need to understand the psychological warfare of creating a piece like this. This necklace didn't start in a pristine Paris boutique. It started as a massive 342-carat rough stone pulled from the Carats mine in Botswana, famously known as the Queen of the Kalahari. When a brand buys a rough stone that big, it is a massive gamble. You can't just take a hammer to it. They spent months scanning the inside of that rock with lasers, mapping out microscopic internal fractures. Then, they send it to the cutting wheels. I am deeply connected to the manufacturing hubs in Surat, where the vast majority of the world's diamonds are cut and polished. And I can tell you that the pressure in those rooms is suffocating. One wrong strike on the cutting wheel, if you cut just 1 millimeter in the wrong direction, and a stone worth tens of millions shatters into commercial-grade dust. They managed to cut 23 flawless stones from it, including the absolute crown jewel, a breathtaking 50-carat, absolutely perfect master stone sitting right on Beyoncé's chest. But that center stone isn't the hardest part to build. The true nightmare is the collar. Look closely at the hundreds of smaller diamonds surrounding her neck. I want you to pause the video and look at how the metal seems to completely disappear. That is the illusion of high jewelry. As someone who designs and sets stones, I can tell you that building a continuous collar of diamonds is physical torture. If you use 18-karat white gold, you are literally fighting the metal. You have to carve tiny beds for the diamonds under a microscope. Then, using pure hand strength and a sharp steel tool, you have to scrape microscopic pieces of gold and physically fold them over the edge of the diamond to lock it in place. If the tension is too loose, a diamond falls out on the red carpet. If you push a fraction of a millimeter too hard, you shatter a flawless diamond right on the bench and ruin a week's worth of work. Furthermore, a necklace with this much diamonds is incredibly heavy. The jewelers didn't just string them together, they micro-engineered a flexible honeycomb skeleton on the back. Every single section is linked by tiny handmade metal joints, so it drapes over the collarbone like silk, without flipping and exposing the raw metal underneath. But here is the industry secret that no one talks about. When a piece crosses the $20 million threshold, absolute paranoia takes over. The insurance premiums to let a celebrity walk through a chaotic crowd with that much wealth become mathematically absurd. In many cases, the brand won't even risk the real stones after the initial red carpet walk. They create a stunt double, an exact replica using laboratory-grown crystals. And here is the kicker. To the cameras, the replica actually looks more blinding than the real thing. Look at this. A real diamond reflects light with sharp, white brilliance. But a high-index synthetic duplicate has double refraction. Under the harsh flashbulbs of the paparazzi, it doesn't throw white light. It explodes into a rainbow firewall of color. The public thinks they're looking at a $50 million miracle, but they're actually looking at a masterfully engineered illusion. Was Beyoncé wearing the real Kalahari diamonds all night? Only Chopard's underwriter knows for sure. So, we have the risk, the engineering, and the security. But does it actually ADD up to $50 million? Let's run the real wholesale receipt. Item 1. The 50-carat D-flawless brilliant cut center stone. A geological miracle. Yes. But on the high-end wholesale market, a single stone of this historic scale maxes out around $200,000 per carat. That's $10 million. Item 2. The 146 carats of accent stones. Buying top-tier VVS diamonds wholesale in large bulk quantities costs right around $1.5 million. Item 3. The 18-carat Fairmont white gold. Raw earth metal is cheap. The scrap weight holding this entire structure together? Under $15,000. Item 4. The master labor. Let's give Chopard's elite Paris bench jewelers a massive premium of $250,000 for the hundreds of hours of painstaking hand forging. Add it all up. The actual physical cost to acquire the rough, cut the master stones, and manufacture this masterpiece is, generously, around $12 million. $12 million to make. $50 million on the official PR release. The missing $38 million is what we call the heritage tax. You aren't paying for the diamonds. You are paying for the name stamped on the clasp. You are paying for the massive marketing machine that convinced the world this piece is magic. But now, let me give you the ultimate twist. Why does Chopard play this game? Why fabricate a $50 million price tag if the materials only cost 12? Because of how billionaire psychology works. High jewelry houses do not make their real money selling retail items to the public. This necklace isn't sitting in a glass display window waiting for a walk-in customer. It is an investment asset destined for a private, underground auction, reserved strictly for the world's ultra-wealthy. But how do you convince a billionaire oil tycoon or a private equity titan to pay $50 million for $12 million worth of earth minerals? You create a pedigree. You give the asset a story. By putting this necklace on Beyoncé for the 2026 Met Gala, Chopard permanently links this piece to pop culture history. Every flashbulb, every Vogue article, every viral tweet becomes an unerasable digital receipt. They aren't paying $25,000 to style a celebrity. They are using Beyoncé as a temporary living billboard to artificially manufacture a historical legacy. When that necklace is locked back in the Swiss vault tomorrow morning, its physical value hasn't changed, but its psychological value has skyrocketed. 2 months from now, in a private boardroom in Monaco or Hong Kong, Chopard will present this exact piece to a private buyer. They won't say, "Look at this $12 million layout of diamonds." They will look them dead in the eye and say, "This is the legendary $50 million Chopard masterwork worn by Beyoncé at the Met Gala." And the billionaire will happily wire the money. Because they aren't buying diamonds. They are buying the ultimate ego trip, a piece of historical art that was photographed millions of times on the most famous woman in the world. The luxury industry is built entirely on selling you an illusion. My job is to break that illusion. If you want to know what the diamonds on your favorite celebrities are actually worth, hit subscribe. I'm taking apart Sudha Reddy's $15 million Tanzanite piece next. See you there.